Joining us right now is former New York State Assemblyman Andrew Stein. Andrew, good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. So we were all impressed with your op-ed the other day that you came out with. You said you were a lifelong Democrat, but you wrote an op-ed for the Journal, and you said, quote, given my level of discomfort with the current leftist orientation of the Democratic Party, I am now supporting Republican nominee Donald Trump for president. I urge my fellow Democrats to vote for Mr. Trump. Why are you not supporting Hillary Clinton?
Well, I'm supporting Donald because he's pro-growth. He'll reduce marginal and corporate tax rates. He'll get rid of these thousands of regulations which are just killing small and medium businesses. And then on the foreign area, I think the Iran nuclear deal is the worst thing that America's ever done. I think it's extremely dangerous. I think it's insane to let in tens and tens of thousands of undocumented migrants. There's no way to document them. I think it's just asking for trouble. And that's what Hillary represents. I think we need things shaken up. Hillary is the establishment. If you really look objectively, whether you're Democrat or Republican, at the shenanigans on the Clinton Foundation, and you look at the email scandal, will she really put America at risk? I think it's a no-brainer to vote for Donald. Plus, Maria, I've had experience with Donald.
You have?
When I was city council president, I asked him to rebuild Woolman Rink because the city took our skating rink in Central Park. The city took 10 years. They couldn't get it done. Donald, when I asked Donald to do it, he did it in 6 months, and he did it under budget. He knows how to get things done, and I think he'd really shake things up in Washington and do a great job.
But that's a good story.
You talk about shaking up the status quo and the political establishment, but you are the political establishment, holding office in New York from '69 to mid-'90s.
Right.
But why now, then? Why now? What has happened in the Democratic Party? What has happened in the corruption of politics as we know it, that now you're basically changing the
That's a good question, because that is what has happened. I mean, something happened.
Yeah.
Well, I have two. I think Marie knows them. I have two boys, and I'm just looking at. We live in an extremely dangerous world, and I'm saying to myself, who do I want guiding America in this dangerous world? And Hillary is just more of the same. It's a third Obama term. I think it will put America at risk. I think Donald will be different. He'll be new. I think he will look at things like a businessman and will shake things up in a way that professional politicians cannot do.
Can I just, I'll let everybody else get in, but if it was another Democrat running, if it was Joe Biden, for example, would you feel the same way? Or is this more of a personal thing with the corruption that has followed the Clintons for decades?
Well, it is very personal. I think that the Clintons, if you look objectively at the Clintons' behavior, it's been extreme. The Clinton Foundation is
extraordinary.
Is really questionable, and it was like a piggy bank for them. And I also think that the cover-up in the emails is almost worse than the emails. You saw what happened in Capitol Hill yesterday with the 5 people who were granted immunity. So, you know, I tend to evolve as somebody is more of a Jack Kemp person now, believe in pro-growth, believe in strong defense. I think Obama has reduced our military to a seriously dangerous point through sequestration and cuts. We have to defend ourselves. We're in a very dangerous position in the world, and I think that at this point, Donald Trump will do that, and I don't think Hillary can.
Do you still call yourself a Democrat, though?
None
of this sounds very...
What are your friends saying? I mean, other Democrat circles. Is this resonating with other people that you know who are Democrats? What's the word within the party?
In the Manhattan world, Maria, I'm getting a lot of praise and a lot of flack.
Both.
Both.
You talk about the virtue of Trump as a businessman, and you like his economic policies. Do you think he did a good job in the debate of getting that point across? It seemed to me he was on the defensive when it came to his business practices. It seemed to me he didn't get his economic message across as clearly as he wanted to. Is there room for improvement on those fronts going into the next debate?
I predict, first of all, I think Lester Holt was extremely unfair. He asked Donald like 6 tough questions, which is okay, but then he didn't ask Hillary any tough questions.
The foundation never came up.
The foundation never came up. The emails never came up. So I think that Donald was not just debating Hillary, but he was also debating the moderator. So I think the deck was stacked against him. And I think he did fine. He could have done better, and he will do much better next time.
What about this new Gallup poll? It shows Democrats are less likely to vote in this election. 80% of Democrats were likely to vote in 2008. That's down to 65% this year. Why is there less enthusiasm for Clinton in this election cycle from her own team?
Because, you know, after a while, you just wear thin. Hillary's been around so long. I think she's not exciting people. And Donald is. I mean, you go to his rallies. I've been with him, and it's just amazing the enthusiasm that he has. I think Hillary has just stayed around too long, and it's wearing thin. And I don't think the Democrats are excited.
Can you connect the dots for us? Why do you believe the rollback of regulations and the lower taxes will lead to jobs?
Well, I think if you look at President Kennedy, if you look at President Reagan, I'm sort of a believer in my friend Jack Kemp's theory, which is, you know, pro-growth. If you reduce taxes, you create more jobs. Our economy's only grown at 1.5%, and that leaves many millions of Americans out of the workforce. There's just not enough jobs being created. And I think that Donald will be a pro-growth president and will stimulate the economy, but also the regulations. People try and start small or medium businesses. They just tell me there's so many regulations, of course, the worst of which is Obamacare, that's killing businesses. And so I think Donald knows, I know he knows, that you have to get rid of so many of these regulations and let businesses flourish.
Yeah, I would point you to one story in the Journal today about durable goods. Durable goods orders were flat in August. We brought you that yesterday, obviously, suggesting tepid business spending, stifling the economy. So if you have tepid business spending, businesses are unwilling to spend. If they have lower taxes and they have a rollback of regs, they're going to hire more people. I mean, he needs to connect those dots. I get it, but I wonder if he's connecting those dots well enough so that it resonates.
Well, he has been, and he'll do it even more in the future.
Andrew, great to talk with you.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Thanks so much for joining us. Andrew Stein joining us. Still to come.